What's good, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today is main shutdown day. So UKPN is coming at 7. We've gotten a bit early today. It's at about 6:30. Just getting all the cables prepped, all the trunking off, all the tools out, just so we hit the ground running at 7 o'clock when he turns up. Yeah, we're going to be getting the 185s into the board, getting them crimped and lugged up onto our incomer, getting them all tied in the trunking through the CTs, torqued up and all put away. And then we just need to ring UKPN. They're going to come back and re-energise, and then we're at the point where we can work on all the supplies safely within our own board. We've also got to bung a load of holes and make good that panel, just because it's a bit of a death rack. I'll show you when we get the cover off finally. But yeah, he's going to turn up any minute, so we better crack on. But before we do, I just wanted to mention today's video sponsor, Tradify. So Tradify is a job management software. It really helps you get organised. You can send inquiries, send quotes, send invoices, and track the job throughout its lifespan, right until the end, right until you send the invoice. You can even go back into the job and make notes, make amendments, additional quotes. You can track your employees and just get really organised. It's a really good bit of software. You can sign up for a 14-day free trial, and if you like it, you can carry that on with 50% off. So use code residual and you get 50% off 3 months. And yeah, by that time you should get into the swing of things, get used to it, and yeah, hopefully it gets you really organised. Right, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe and hit that bell button. Really supports the channel and what I'm trying to do. And yeah, let's get to it. Right, so this is the bit of kit we're using today. I think I showed it on another video. I don't know if that's out yet or not, but if I haven't, this is our hydraulic crimper. So it goes up to 400mm and as low as 10, but I'd probably just get the small ones out if I was doing anything like that. It's hydraulic, so you just pump it up. It does a lot of the work for you. It's a lot easier than a gut buster. We could get a Clark or something, an electric one. It is on my wish list, but this is a company one. It gets shared between loads of guys, so we're not buying £2 crimpers just for them to get abused by everyone. But yeah, this is a new one because our old one burst, so it's still pretty fresh. We've also got all of our cables prepped, so we've got 185 singles. We're going to have 2 in parallel per phase, so we've got 8 cuts of 8 meters. We've also got a 185 earth. So that's going to get put around as well. And then yeah, we'll get all these prepped. He's going to be here any minute. In fact, I think I can hear him now. So yeah, we'll get that isolated and sorted, and then yeah, we'll show you doing the safe isolation on the board. Right, off, off.
So this is just, so these fuses in here protect your transformer.
Right, yeah. And then that's just for metering and what have you.
This is just the metering unit with the CTs in it. And this is the small wiring that goes to the metering.
Oh yeah, that multi-core cable.
And it just records what's being used.
Fair enough.
And that's just the CTs in there. It's just full of oil. Same as that. This is full of oil.
What, as an insulator?
Yeah. We used to. So if one of these fuses blows, you just lift this lid up and change it.
Right.
And now in this state now where it's off, we used to be able to do that live, but now they've changed it. Someone got hurt doing it, so we have to go and make the line dead, make the whole thing dead before we can have a look at the fuses.
Bloody hell.
But that's how things change here when someone gets hurt. Something's gone wrong, so it has to be changed.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, so our mate's just come in. He's isolated this here. And then he's also pulled all the fuses for the metering in here. So this is basically the HV incoming, comes off of a pole over the wood somewhere, comes in, and then it goes from here, which is basically a giant switch with fuses in to protect the transformer, comes through into here, which is basically a metering box of CTs and all that sort of stuff, and then it goes on to the transformer, which is just in that other pen there. The reason they're segregated is because the transformer is actually client side. This is UKPN. So yeah, we're going to wait for him to just make a call so that he can all put this down to earth, and then we'll be in there doing safe isolation and making sure it's all dead. So then we start getting these cables in. Happy days.
Yeah, do this with a remote operating device.
Right, so he's been in and he's tested at the transformer, so we traced the cables out, so we're pretty confident. Obviously we're going to do a safe isolation procedure, but we're not going to get all geared up with the mask and all that sort of stuff just because it's not deemed necessary. Our RAMs don't warrant it, just because of the isolation cert and everything from him. I'll just go through that actually. So this is the isolation cert from UKPN, so it's basically just him signing it all off, me signing it all off in agreement, and then he's also provided me with the keys in this safety envelope for later, so he can come back and remove the locks and get it all re-energised. So we're going to get the cover off of this, we're going to prove it dead, and then yeah, we'll crack on. So I'm going to get the top screws off first. Just need you to support this cam. Support the bottom of the board just while I undo these.
It's just one big cover.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Well, that's the problem with it, you see, because to get to these, you have to take the main cover off, which is why no one was stripping anything out properly, because you're onto the death rack, basically. Right, okay, just carry on supporting that. I'll do the bottom ones now. Got that a sec? Right. I've got this side, you've got that side. Just watch your back. We just want to step back with it, yeah? There we go. Right, let's get this outside out the way. You got that? Yeah? Look at you.
Oh no, mate.
I can't get out the door. Look. Right, go put that somewhere safe, mate.
Somewhere we won't lose it,
Yeah, right. Turn this back the other way. That is proper dangerous Brian, man. Mad old board. So we've just got the safe isolation kit from TIS. Nice little kit actually. It just comes all in one with the proving unit in the front and all that sort of stuff. So let's just prove these up. So they're reading 700 volts. So now we're just going to jump onto earth, go between earth and L1, earth and L2, earth and L3. Then we're going to go between neutral and L1, neutral and L2, neutral and L3. Then going to stretch across, do neutral to earth. And then we're going to go between L1 and L2, L1 and L3, and then L2 and L3. Then, the most important part, we're going to prove these again, make sure that they're working, which they are 700. So yeah, that's our 10-point test. So we've verified that this is dead and that we can work safely in it now. We've got loads to do, so we're probably just going to crack on. The reason why it all belled out is because he's put the transformer down to earth. So on the on our side of that HV switch, he's just put everything down to earth. So it's just all interconnected, and that's why it's all belling out. It's just a safety thing basically that UKPN do. So now we're going to start getting rid of all these armoured. I'll just bring the camera in, show you show you this death rack, and then we'll start getting all these stripped out, making loads of room. We've got to get rid of these because we're going to utilise this breaker. We'll get rid of all these stubs that have just been left in where they didn't want to take the cover off beforehand. And we're going to try and tidy up some of these CTs and stuff too, just because they're they're real bad. But yeah, I'll bring the camera in and show you. Right, so this is the inside of this panel. So this is why no one wants to take that middle cover off, and that's why you get people just turning the breakers off and snipping these, and then because you can't get to the actual terminals with the main cover on, but you can get to about here. And that's because when you take the cover off, even with the main switch isolated and all that def rack sort of dead, you've still got this, which is just, yeah, proper dangerous. We've got a bit of corrosion going on there as well, which ain't great. But yeah, these are CTs around the buzz bar. It's quite an old panel, to be honest. It's at least 20 years old. I think the UKPN guy said he actually connected this panel up 20 years ago, so 20 odd years ago. Yeah, we've got all these cables that have just been cut out here, so we're going to try and get rid of them. We're going to try tidy up like these CTs and stuff, get rid of all these stubs. We've got to strip out this power factor corrector as well, and just tidy up the panel, bung all the holes. Once that's all ready and we know that we're sweet, we're then going to start getting our 185s through, probably take them round the back and try swoop them in. Luckily this breaker's got like 3 terminals, so it's really easy to parallel through. And then yeah, our 185s we'll get dressed through, and then we'll start lugging them onto our switch in here. So yeah, now we're just going to crack on with sorting this panel out basically. Right, so get these out. Mad breakers, isn't they?
What do you need to get that limb out?
What's that?
What do you just put in there?
Just a real big hex key, you know, Allen key. Lovely. 9, yeah.
We work with that.
No.
How would they do this?
I don't know. No, we've got, I think, we've got like some on the firm, haven't we? There'll be some in like the lockup and that, but I don't know if anyone's got like their own. I only got them for the torque wrench really, because the torque wrench is pretty useless without them. Right. Yeah, cool. Right, I might just speak to Johnny, because the whole, we're going off that breaker because it's a 600 and removing this power factor corrector, but we might be able to leave it in because this is a 600 as well. Have a look. Grab that screw. Right, so mate, now just remove those glands on that right hand side.
Yes.
All those old glands. I'm going to see if I can do anything about these CTs, and I'm also going to remove all these old neutrals that aren't needed anymore. Right, so in the bottom here we've got loads of old supplies, so I'm just going to try and lock them off down there with a bandsaw and then wiggle them out and get the glands out, and we can bung all them holes and get all that sorted out. Easier. just goes to show they don't make glands like they used to. Look at the size of that lock ring. It's like 10mm thick. That is mad. Brass as well, proper brass. So yeah, that is nuts. In the gear, but worst case, I think it's looking like box lids anyway, a lot of the size of the holes. That earth can get removed off your banjo, get all your banjos out and all that. Like, don't get me wrong, no one's going to come in this panel again, or be very rare, but like we just want to tidy it up as much as we can, because that's the problem, no one's cared when they've been in there, do you know what I mean?
No one's giving anything.
Getting somewhere. Right, so we've just stripped out all of these like old feeds and that were just left in the bottom. Basically, they're all cut off already, but yeah, just stripped them all out, big old glands and that. But yeah. So now we're at this point here. Cam's just making up little bits of Paxlin and stuff just to block these holes off, make good all of them. He's now doing a bigger sheet as well to cover all these. We've got another little hole over there in some existing Paxlin, so we're going to try do that too. And then yeah, it will just be tie wrapping these in and neatening these like CT cables up. We've got rid of all the old earths off the earth bar, all the old neutrals, still a couple to do, but yeah, tie all these and try and neaten them up. Nothing crazy because it's a dog old panel anyway, but yeah, just neaten it up a little bit. We're also going to utilise, for some reason, we thought that was the only 600, but this is a 600 as well. So we're going to utilise, I think that power factor corrector is going to stay off, but if we can keep it in, why not? I mean, it needs to get commissioned and stuff. It's well old, it's definitely had it, but if they want to, they can change that by just isolating this switch, and they can work in that safely without having to get involved with all this again. So we're just going to give them that option, and we're going to go into this one. So yeah, that will be a bit easier. It saves us having to strip that out as well, which is something we had to do today, so it's bought us a little bit of time. But yeah, I'm going to hoover this out now just to give it a bit of TLC, and then yeah, we'll get all the holes covered up and tie wrap these all in, get that sorted. There we go, so that's a bit better than it was. Cam's just doing that bit of packs in there, he'll also do that bit. I'm going to start sorting out these cables, getting them all neatened up as much as I can. Right, so we've been busy for way too long now. In fact, if my boss is watching this, he's probably going to go mad because we've spent way too much time tidying this up. Some of it needed to happen and some of it is just giving it a bit of a TLC. But yeah, we've given it a good hoover out. We've blocked these holes up just with a sheet of Paxilin, just mounted below. Try and show you. Like that. We've cut all these old supplies out, so they're just all chopped off, lopped off down there. Another bit of Paxilin covering that. We've got that all blocked up. We need to get some 20mm bungs to just do them. We've just run out. These CTs, so I had to check them over anyway because we messed around with them in our haste to get that supply in. But they all went back, if you skip back in the footage, to a load of connector blocks down here and all red cables. And what that was they've obviously been changed or upgraded or whatever, and whoever done it didn't know what they were doing. So they left all the existing red cables in here and then just snipped them off, I guess, and like, yeah, connector blocked them through. But what they had done is got loads of it wrong. It's like the wrong phases were powering the wrong CTs and just all sorts. The Ks and the Is were the wrong way around on some of them. So that led me to basically completely redo it, which obviously took a bit of time. We've neatened up some of these earths as best as we can, just tried to fix them. These were, well, that one, I was just shoved in one of these terminals, so we've actually bolted it down properly, removed all the bits and bobs, loads of tie wraps just to neaten stuff up and keep it out of harm's way, because obviously that's all buzz bar there and stuff, and it was just sat against it, so we've tried to tie it out of the way where we can, and just neaten it up. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now we're going to look at getting our 185s in. So Cam's just taping up the cores with different colours just for identification so that we can just focus on getting them in. I'm going to swoop round the back and then try come through here, ready to go into this breaker. I think, yeah, we're going to utilise this one as long as it's all okay. Just got to take some covers off and stuff and make sure it's all sweet and it's whole. But yeah, then once they're in, we can get the cover back on. We're going to rivet the door panel. I don't know if you remember, the door was hanging off, so we're going to rivet that back on too, and then yeah, it'll be pretty good. Look at this, someone's had a big old bang back here against the casing. Big old bang. Took a chunk of that out and all sorts, but yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's even like a rivet missing there, with a bit of flash around it, so I don't know, maybe it's blown the rivet off. Right, so we're going to start the greys first just because they land on the right hand side. They're also in the bottom, so hopefully we can keep them on the outside. They're also the lowest ones down here, so when we come round we'll be, well, we shouldn't, we're going to be in the way of each other anyway, but we should be the path of least resistance if we sort of go that way, I'm hoping. So yeah, let's go for one of them. Do you want to grab them big steps, mate? The big steps here, keep these little ones here. There's just some literally around the corner. Oh, yeah. They're proper sausage ones, but you like them, don't you? What's that? Yeah? Cool. Right, so we're going to pass around the back, yeah? Yeah. Through this hole and then up. Let's just have a look. Yeah. So you want to go through here, angling up. Yeah, one at a time, and then I'll be waiting in here. Well, I can actually get my head in this 9-inch trunking lot. Hello, mate. Maybe they're not your biggest fan either. Keep going, maestro. No. Back. Up in a donut. I ain't took it through the CTs. Right, that should be alright. No. A bit more. That'll do. Yeah. Keep going. Lovely. You've got enough there, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, once that gets pushed up. Yeah, loads. Cool. Right, and then once that gets pushed into that corner, we got loads. Lovely time. Right, round 2.
DOS.
They're not too bad, are they? To be fair, it helps leaving them in the sun, doesn't it? We're all a bit better once we've been left in the sun.
Or not.
Shout out to all the strawberry blonde viewers.
It's there if you want to.
All right, mate. Where is it?
You get it?
Right, cool. Right, go on. I think so, mate. Yeah, I'm happy. You happy? Always happy. Right. Yes, mate, but I'm going to be proper sad and tie these in. Right, let's just show you what we've done then. So, not a lot. Right, so we've got our 2 greys just sat there. They're passing through that current transformer, and then these are just nicely tied in a nice pair, looping up, round into the back of the panel. We've just tied them there as well, and then obviously they'll get pushed up and we'll support them, maybe tie wrap into some of these cross supports or something once they're all in. But yeah, we're just going to have them in little pairs like that for the phases of the neutral. The earth will run on its own, and then it's just nice and neat in the trunking, nice and neat in the CTs and stuff. And yeah, where one's at the front, one's at the back, one's going to fall on the front of this and one's going to fall on the back of it, so it should work really, really well. So yeah, I'm going to probably put the camera on a time lapse because you've seen it once now. We've got another 6 of them to get in and unearth. So yeah, I'll drop this on a time lapse, we'll get them in, and then we can start show you putting them away at either end, lugging them up, heat shrink, hydraulic crimper and all that sort of stuff. What'd you say, Cam?
Beautiful, mate.
Right, so this is where we're at. We've got our 3 phases of neutral in, just loosely tied in, ready to be put away. We've got our earth hanging out down here, and they all just drop through this trunk in. We've got them very nicely tied, all looking very sweet down here. And then again, they're just coming through and then just loosely tied to bits and bobs here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make them off this end first, get them all torqued up, tie wrapped in. Then in theory, we can close this panel up and sort of just work this end with all the slack that end. So yeah, that is going to be the plan. So we'll get the camera set up and we'll start putting these away, probably start with the neutrals first. I was going to lug them on, but these are pretty good, these terminals. I don't have a torque rating for them though, so I'm probably just going to match what it is for these terminals and see what that's like, because I'm sure it'll be pretty high. But yeah, we'll crack on with that. Right, mate. Let's get these. Can we get a tie up there? Got a tie? In that box under the desk, mate, should be a couple of bits of heat shrink. Let's get you out of the way. So strip there, cut there. Coring knife. Yeah, that cut. What's that?
Gone.
Right, okay. Let's get that one just loosely tightened up for now. Yeah, so that I think wants to be way tighter than 34, because that's, I don't know actually. Right. Right, okay, so again, cut there, stripped about there. It's a good knife actually. Alright, let's get...
Blunt clip or not?
What's that, mate?
Is it blunt clip?
Don't know. Shrink's too big. Shrink is too big. So we'll tape them in here. Is what it is. We've got to get it done, haven't we? So Yeah, it'll probably probably be alright on the it'll be alright on the crimps, but it's just a bit crap on the cable. But it's just annoying because they can never seem to work out like the shrink ratios when you ask them to sort it out. They seem pretty solid. Right. Next up.
My dad's Bruce Lee. I'm Cam, I'm Father, my dad's Gary.
Is he actually Gaz?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
And you are 5 as well. One at the top, one at the bottom there. Right, so we've got the first 2 in. We'll get them torqued up in a sec. Probably going to torque them all up after I've got the other 4 in, but I'm going to jump on the time lapse now just because you've seen it now. But yeah, really annoyed about the heat shrink, but it is what it is basically. We're not going to go out and get more, and that's just a real world problem. So yeah, we're going to just tape them up like that. Don't at me in the comments, but yeah. Heat shrink will still look nice on those with the lugs. So yeah, I'll set the camera up. That's got to get put back away. I might see if I've got a lug for that, to be honest, because it's a bit pants. But yeah, that's got to get put away. We'll put these 6 away, do the earth, which will be lugged up and put onto that bolt in there, and then we can close this panel up and yeah, get on to putting them away in there. Right, so I've got these 6 put away and the neutrals. I'm just going to torque these up. So on the side of this it says torque to 34 Newton meters. So get that set up. Go 34, and then yeah, I'm just going to see how we go. Okay, where are we at? 15. 22.5, 24. Okay, cool. Cool, there we go. So that is them all torqued up. Again, working backwards, so we'll remember that when we download the torque settings. So yeah, it's looking okay. Like I say, a bit annoyed about the tape, but apart from that, they're swooping in nicely. There's loads of slack around the back for future, if need be. And yeah, we're now just ready to put this earth away, and then we're on to the main panel. Right, so first of all, we're just going to mark how much we need to strip, get that sorted. Use a coring knife to just strip this off. Sit that on there, and somehow I've gone too much, so just give it a bit of a haircut. There we go. That's better. So now, just want to wrap this round onto our bolt. Where's that nut? Where have I put that? So get this loosely tightened on. And then get this bent round. Get it in. And then we just want to strike across the lug and onto the cable. I'll show you why that's important. Right, so as you can see, I've just striked across the lug and I've striked across the cable. And what that means is when I crimp it, obviously out of the panel, I'm going to know it's going to line up exactly where I wanted it to, rather than crimping it on and then having to try and turn it and buckle it and mess with the crimp. I know I can just pump it on like that, and then it's going to sit exactly where I want it to when we put it onto this bolt. So yeah, we'll get the crimper set up and then we'll do this. Right, so we're going to get our lug in our crimper first, just because I find it makes life a lot easier. Get that sat about there, and we're going to grab our earth, slot it in, make sure we're lined up, which there we are, and then just start crimping. Release it a little bit, and then I'm going to try and tap it again if I can, but I'll tell you what, it's looking tight. It's looking tight. I'm going to leave it. So release that. They're lined up. That's not going nowhere. So now I'm just going to shove some heat shrink on. Right, and then slide this on. About there. Wait for this to get warm. Cool, and then we've got our conductor. We've got a conductor looking sweet. Nice tight heat shrink. So now I'm going to bolt that onto there, and then we are done in this panel. Sweet. Right, that is on. Get these up. Away. Cool. Right, so we are there. We're done in this panel anyway, so I'm just going to get it all cleared out, get the cover back on, and make the all-important phone call to the UKPN man. Just going to do some final checks as well before we put the cover on, make sure we're happy with everything. But yeah, we've got our 3 phases, 185 parallels, 2 per phase in the MCCB. We've got our 2 neutrals in the neutral bar, and we've got our single 185 earth just tucked onto there. Probably going to try and get a tie or some in on there, maybe across one of these bars, just to give it a bit of support. We've supported these as well with some tie wraps, just going to put some metals round, just to, yeah, take the weight of the swoop. And then, yeah, they come through up there, and round into here, down and round. So yeah, I'll get the panel closed up, and then that's probably going to be it for this video, just because it's getting to a bit of a longer length, and really I need to start chopping the videos up and stuff. So yeah, I'm probably going to leave the main work on the panel for another video. Least we can say, Cam, we left it in a much better way than we found it. bring it over, mate. I'll just double check we're happy with everything. Black grey, all nice and tight. That's in. That's in. The metering's been redone. You're tagged on there. You're tagged on there. I haven't disturbed any of this. No. That's sweet. They're all on. RF's on down there. RF's on nice and tight. Wanted to get a tie wrap on that. So that's on tight. They're in. Sorted those CTs out. They're in. There's nothing to do with us, but we'll just check. None of these are loose. Go. We're happy with that. We've got pictures at the inside. Let's just snap a couple more of everything. Cool. Right, let's go for it. Hang on there, because it sits on here. Wash your hands. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Let me get this one in. And then, yeah? Right, so this panel door's been hanging off long before we were ever here. So I promised the guy I'd rivet it back on. I think people have tried to bodge it, but yeah, it just needed a couple of rivets. So yeah, Cam's bringing it over and we're gonna try and hold it on and get it popped on. Just using this real BTEC rivet gun. Hawker. Right mate, so you just want to line up with these hinges if you can. It's going to involve your strength. Ooh. What I would do is the door will probably sit on that lip. That's it. And then, how do you reckon it? Yeah, it's got to be, yeah. Alright mate. Hang on then. So can you twist it more towards? That's it. There we go. So easy as that. So what we've done is these ones are quite bad. Well, that one was because it was bearing all the weight, but that one's real nice. And we've got two nice ones up there. And then I don't know if it's going to close just because of how warped. Oh yeah, look at that. Does the lock work? That's crooked. Twist that way. No, unfortunately not. It might be, it does look bent to be fair, so I might try to bend that back and get that working, but still, it's now It's got a door on it, which was a lot better than how we found it. It's also missing a bracket here by the looks of it, but hopefully those rivets hold anyway. But yeah, so I'm now going to make the call to get Matey Boy back so he can come turn this on, and then yeah, that'll be it. So this is where we're at, panels all back together. I'm just about to start making these off, but that's going to be the next video. Cam's getting these SWAs in up here, ready for them to be made off. Our mate, we've made the call as well, he's on his way back, so he's going to come and energise that. And then we're going to have this main switch on. I can't get this open because that, but yeah, we're going to put this main switch on. We're going to put the supply to this little DB on in here so we can get some power on and all that sort of stuff. But we're going to leave R1 off so that we can obviously work safely, and then yeah, start putting them away. So that is going to be it for today's video. So we're going to carry on working. It's afternoon, so it's going to be a long old day, but yeah, that's it for this one. So if you haven't already, guys, please like, subscribe, hit that bell button, really supports the channel. Check out that Tradify link, that's going to be in the description. Yeah, go check it out, grab a free trial, and make sure you use code residual for 50% off. And yeah, I'll catch you next Sunday at 6 o'clock.